SFM, or six-figure mentors, which you'll know if you've been around us for any small amount of time, was actually something that I started back in 2010. But before I really get into what SFM is, I think it'd be a good idea to share a bit of the history and how the idea of SFM was started in the first place. So one of my biggest frustrations back in around really 2009 was that I kept doing things in my business that I thought were going to benefit my business and help me grow my business. But often what I was seeing is it was having the opposite effect. And I realized very quickly that I was taking a lot of misleading advice and guidance. And that's because I was following a lot of advice that I was finding for free online. Now, don't get me wrong, there is tons of free information on the internet that's amazing. I still consume lots of good free information, podcasts, and I'm on YouTube and I follow certain blogs. But what I really experienced as an online business owner is that I was a member of various different forums and I was reading lots of blogs when I was, doing research and everything else, that it was really, really impossible to know if the advice that I was reading or receiving was one of quality unless I really knew the person that I was, getting the advice from. And one of the forums that I was a member of some time ago now, I started to realize the more successful that I got, about 90% of the crap that I was reading, frankly, was by people that just didn't have a clue what they were talking about. And it was an environment where the blind were leading the blind. And I realized very quickly that the majority of really successful online business owners weren't sort of out handing out free advice online and supporting people, certainly in any major capacity. I think it's fair to say human nature, we want to help and support people. But I found that the reality is that most of the stuff that I was finding was really inaccurate, or people had a motive and intention and were giving misleading advice to sort of benefit themselves. So I had this idea, and it was based on the things that had worked best for me. And that was when I was recruiting a coach or when I was taking on a mentor, what I found was that the most effective people, the most people that were really making an impact in my business were the ones that were really walking the walk because they had achieved a certain financial status, if you like, within their business. Now, I know success isn't just money. That's not the be-all, end-all. But it's a great measuring point in terms of it's a great reflection of how successful somebody's business is. Now, that's not to say the biggest businesses making the most money are the best businesses by any means, but I really am a strong believer that, if people are really taking action on good business advice and they're really, walking the walk, the chances are they're going to have a successful business financially. And so I wanted to make sure that there was an environment that I could create when I first started taking on students where they know the advice that they were getting was from credible people that had credentials that I trusted and they should trust to actually try. And I'm a big believer that you should always try everything out with an open mind. If you're going to follow someone's advice, nothing is ever for sure. But I think you'll probably agree, it's fair to say, that people have been there and done that are much more likely to be able to shed some light and give expertise that are worth listening to. So when I launched the Six-Figure Mentors, my idea, and still to this day is the same, that anybody that's doing the trainings and the proper coaching webinars and speaking from our stage and doing any of our one-on-one mentorship were individuals that had at least built a six-figure online business. That's why I called it Six-Figure Mentors. And it was nothing to do with any sort of income promise or claim or anything like that. You will make six figures as a member of our community. It was all about me making sure that our organization was going to vet the individuals that were going to be doing the training and mentoring so that our members had peace of mind that these were people that were walking the walk. And that's why I believe, we were able to get such traction and a lot of success with our clients very, very quickly because of just that very principle that we were making sure the advice that we were giving was always proven, and it wasn't because he heard from her and she heard from him and he heard from uncle and her brother and her sister's dog and then decided to write on a forum or create a blog post based on something that they had heard 10 stories down. That was really the idea behind it. Now, so what is SFM? Kind of a long-winded way to get there, but I think it's important to understand, is Six Figure Mentors is an entrepreneurial incubator, if you like, when it comes to showing people how to succeed in the digital economy. What I wanted to do is create a linear program, a step-by-step training platform, where people could really learn the fundamentals and the core principles to online business so that they can very quickly start to see results in their own business and their own life. And it's a way for us to actually show some of the most proven business models that exist, especially ones that are great for newbies, and then teach people the exact strategies and steps, and I like to say money-producing activities that they need to follow in order to get the result that they're looking for, which is, of course, a profitable online business. So SFM is a very money-focused training program. It's all about getting you to prove to yourself that you can actually succeed online, that you can make your first sale online, whether that be as an affiliate or with your own e-commerce store or selling physical products. But at the same time, the core skill, and this is really important, the core skill that all of our members share in common is learning online marketing. And that's because the lifeblood of any business will always be lead generation and generating sales. You can have the best product in the world, the nicest fancy pants website in the world, but if nobody knows it exists, then guess what? You're not going to be successful with your business. And the key skill that you will get as a member of SFM and our online academy and our community and our exclusive private environments that we have is that you're going to learn online marketing, effective online marketing, from true experts, people that have applied what we teach and built six-figure or beyond businesses. Some of our coaches are now seven-figure business owners, and you can have that complete peace of mind that if you're going to spend an hour on one of our live calls, that individual that's teaching you really can walk the walk when it comes to our business education. So hopefully that gives some sort of insight in terms of what SFM is, exclusive private community with a linear training program to get people making money online.